Good evening. My name is Raymond Mullen, and it's my great pleasure to address you as President of the WBR Credit Union on this, our 51st AGM. This year has presented everyone with great challenges, and one result is having to hold our AGM virtually online compared to previous years. However, we do look forward to returning to our normal format for next year and to welcome you in person. A number of members have sadly passed away since this time last year, including John Hume, who helped to establish one of the first credit unions on the island in Derry. And there's a tribute to John in your booklet, page 13. Now, I would ask you now to observe a 1 minute silence in their memory. Okay, now I'd like to start off with the credit union invocation. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there's hatred, let me sow love. Where there's injury, pardon. Where there's doubt, faith. Where there's despair, hope. Where there's darkness, light. And where there's sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much to seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Now, I can confirm that with the members present here tonight in the building, and with those viewing virtually, that we have we fulfill the requirement for a quorum. The order of business is on page 3 of the annual report, and indeed is also in your AGM notification pack. So you can follow that as we go through the meeting. The adoption of standing orders, I propose that we adopt the model of standing orders for the Credit Union's Annual General Meeting, Northern Ireland. I'm proposing it. I'm asking for a seconder. Lisa, thank you, Lisa. There are no amendments to the standard rules for Credit Unions Northern Ireland. Now, I'd like to move on now to item E in the order of business, the reading and the approval of the minutes of the 2019 Annual General Meeting. For the sake of expediency and moving things ahead, these minutes, which are available in the AGM booklet on pages 4, 5 and 6, and we should take those as read. I would ask for a proposal for that. Aaron, thank you. Seconder, Lisa, thank you very much. Now, we'll move on now to item F in the order of business, the report of the directors, which will be delivered by myself. And I would ask you to, listen to what I have to say. Okay. I am honoured and pleased to present to you the report of WBR Credit Union for the year 2020. To say 2020 has been a challenging year for most of us and for your credit union is an understatement, but the staff and the directors have worked hard to ensure that the credit union continued to meet the needs and expectations of you, the members. The AGM is different this year with COVID-19 requirements, but it is important to provide members with an opportunity to review the year's performance and to vote on a number of key issues for the strategic direction of the credit union. It is crucial that you, as members and owners of WBR Credit Union, participate actively in this AGM, as indeed you have done. You will see from the Treasurer's report that 2020 has been a busy and indeed stressful year for staff, volunteers, supervisors and directors, and the results for the first half of the year particularly were good. However, the influence of the coronavirus pandemic affected many of our members' jobs and incomes, and as a result our loan book decreased slightly during the year. The credit union had to take steps to protect its interests and staff, and a number of staff were furloughed for a time during the year, and many continued to work from their own home. It was important to keep those staff who were on the premises safe, whilst ensuring that our members had sufficient access to the credit union, and indeed many kept in touch by using online facilities. The premises remained open throughout, albeit at reduced hours, and these were increased in accordance with health and safety requirements. The credit union was required to maintain the safety and security of members' interests, and measures that had to be taken included increasing the amount of bad debts provision to £545,393 for 2020, up from £265,000 last year. This was an additional charge against income and greatly reduced the surplus available for distribution for this year. WBR Credit Union continues to grow in terms of membership and in the services it provides. It is one of the largest and most successful organisations in the area, with net assets over £31 million and membership of over 10,000. Credit unions exist to help their members save and borrow at reasonable rates, but unlike other lenders, however, the credit union insures all personal loans in the event of death up to the age 85. As most of our income is earned from our loans, it is crucial for the continued viability of WBR Credit Union that the loan book continues to grow, and that WBR is the first choice banking solution for our existing and new members. Members have their own sort code and individual account number, enabling them to access and manage their account from the comfort of their own home. Members can apply for loans online and check the balance of their account. WBR is offering secured loans over shares up to £80,000 over 10 years, and loans of £180,000 over 25 years. Since we moved into our excellent new premises, membership numbers have continued to increase. Member savings have continued to increase by £2.5 million since last year, but our loan book has shown a slight decrease over the year, which reflects the economic activity and uncertainty felt by many of our members, with a number of borrowers paying off their loans early. However, your directors have agreed to place a cap of £15,000 on membership shares effective from 1st January 2021, and the rationale for this is contained in the information pack already sent to you. We welcome the increasing corporate membership and are keen to encourage business organisations to avail of our competitive loans and access. We are in the process of issuing a number of larger loans to members and corporate members, which will benefit the credit union greatly in the future and will help to grow our loan book and help to ensure its future viability. All credit unions in Northern Ireland must comply with the demands of the regulators, the Financial Conduct Authority and the Prudential Regulation Authority. It is a requirement of the regulators that we report to the members of our credit union compliance and depositor protection, the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. insurance cover, and additional activities in lending and investments. These areas have all been monitored throughout the year, and I can confirm that our credit union is compliant with these requirements. See page 16 of your booklet. We live in very challenging times and are ready as a credit union to continue to assist and work for the interests of our members, whatever the pandemic and Brexit may bring. One thing we can say for sure is that the communities in WBR and indeed beyond would likely need the support of the credit union like never before. The directors would like to thank the manager, Yvonne White, the staff, volunteers and supervisors for their hard work and commitment during a busy and challenging year. As President of WBR Credit Union, I would like to thank our directors for their continued support and encouragement during the last 12 months and for their commitment to the effective governance of WBR Credit Union. Thank you. Okay, there were no questions received from our members. I would like now to ask for, I'm proposing the report. I'd like to ask for a seconder. Yvonne White. Thanks, Yvonne. Moving on now to the next agenda item, agenda item G, the Statement of Directors' Responsibility, which I will deliver. Statement of Directors' Responsibilities for the year ended 30th September 2020. The Credit Union's Northern Ireland Order 1985 and any amendments thereto require directors to prepare financial statements for each financial year which give a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the credit union and its income and expenditure for that period. In preparing those financial statements, the directors are required to select suitable accounting policies and then apply them consistently, make judgments and estimates that are reasonable and prudent, and prepare the financial statements on the going concern basis unless it is inappropriate to presume that the credit union will continue its business. The directors are responsible for keeping proper accounting records which disclose with reasonable accuracy the financial position of the credit union and to enable them to ensure that the financial statements comply with the credit union's Northern Ireland Order 1985 and any amendments thereto. They are also responsible for safeguarding the assets of the credit union and hence for taking reasonable steps for the preparation and detection of fraud and other irregularities. The report was approved by the board on 31st of October 2020 and signed on its behalf by the President. There were no questions received for this. I would ask for a seconder. I'm proposing it, asking for a seconder. Yvonne White. Thank you, Yvonne. Now, moving on now to the next order item H in the order of business, the Supervisor's Report, which will be delivered by Aaron Willis.
Good evening, everyone. This is the Supervisor's Report for the year ended 30th of September 2020. As required by Section 16 of the Standard Rules of Credit Unions and Section 15 of the PRA Rulebook, the WBR Credit Union has in place an internal audit function which is completely independent from the Board of Directors, management and staff of the Credit Union. The Supervisory Committee assumes the role of internal audit, which primarily involves assessing adherence to and the effectiveness of internal systems and controls, procedures and policies. This is achieved by completing regular inspections and reviews at regular intervals throughout the year, including monthly, quarterly and annual assessments as detailed in the annual audit plan of the Supervisory Committee. The audit plan has met the approval of the Board and has been designed to test and review the day-to-day operations and policies and procedures recommended by the FCA in the credit union sourcebook. Based on the audit reports and our own checks, the committee is satisfied that adequate internal controls exist to protect members' accounts and that the financial statements accurately reflect the positive performance and condition of our credit union. We have also attended the monthly board meetings and are encouraged by the attendance, support and conduct of the Board of Directors over the previous 12 months. There is a table in the AGM booklet with a summary of the areas covered by the Supervisory Committee throughout the year. The COVID-19 pandemic has had a considerable impact this year on the daily lives of everyone, not least the staff and volunteers of WBR Credit Union. Restrictions imposed with regards to movement in general, the necessity of working from home, along with shielding instructions, have had an impact on how the Supervisory Committee has functioned since March 2020. Nevertheless, the committee has attended the virtual meetings of committees and have sought reassurance that all precautions have been taken to protect our members, staff and volunteers while maintaining a high level of service to our members. As such, we are pleased to inform you that throughout our checks and audits carried out throughout the year, we have found WBR Credit Union Board of Directors, staff and volunteers to be carrying out their duties to a very high standard within the rules and policies as laid out. The Supervisory Committee appreciates your continued confidence in our oversight role. The support and cooperation of the Board of Directors and staff have assisted us in our performance of duties and is greatly appreciated. Thank you.
I can confirm that there were no questions received for this report, and I'll now ask for a proposer for the report. Aaron, seconder, Martina. Thank you very much, Aaron. Move on now to item I, Credit Control Committee report, which is going to be delivered by Tony Michael.
Good evening. This is the Credit Control Committee's report for the year 2019 to 2020. The Credit Control Committee consists of Directors Noel Campbell and Tony Michael, along with Credit Control Officers Martina McGill and Louise White. The Credit Control Officers work daily on credit control within the WBR Credit Union, and the committee meet weekly and report to the Board of Directors each month. It continues its vital function within the credit union in monitoring the repayment of loans to ensure that our borrowers repay in accordance with the agreed terms. As we all know, 2020 has been a very difficult year for many due to the global pandemic, and we are acutely aware that credit union members have been deeply affected by unemployment and austerity measures that have put intense pressure on household budgets. We have worked with many borrowers to ensure a repayment that meets their current financial needs, and we are willing to help any member in genuine difficulty who communicates with us. We'll be able to assist them through their difficulties, in many cases preserving their good membership, relationship and benefits within the WBR Credit Union. There are a number of options we may be made available on a short to medium term basis to help them out. We do of course continue to have a small number of members who do not meet their commitments, but for whatever reason do not do so. We continue to consistently review all outstanding debts, and we do not hesitate to take legal action when we consider it to necessary do so, but this is always a last measure. In the last financial year, bad debts written off were 45,786, while 25,468 of bad debts were recovered, and with a total loan book at year end of £12,522,684. This represents another strong year of performance on the part of our credit union team. In conclusion, we express our thanks to all the committee members, and especially to Martina McGill and Louise White and all WBR staff for their hard work throughout the year. Thank you.
I confirm that no questions were received for a credit committee report. And I ask for a proposer for this report. Thank you, Anne. Seconder, Yvonne. Thank you, Yvonne. Now, thanks, Tony. We move on now to item J in the order of business, the report of the Credit Committee, which will be delivered by Sylvia Christophic. Sylvia.
Good evening. This is Credit Committee report for the year ended 30th of September 2020. This past 12 months have been a challenging period for everyone, with the effects of the global pandemic being felt across all parts of everyday life. Financial uncertainty has resulted in many of us exercising more caution in our approach to borrowing. At WBR Credit Union Limited, we have recorded a reduction in loan applications. Last year, our members applied for loans totaling 6,950,324, and we have approved 6,754,765 pounds, which amounted to 97.1% of all loan applications being approved. In comparison, this year our members applied for a total of 5,653,437 pounds, and we approved 5,525,518 pounds, which amounted to 97.7% of loan approved. We recognized very early on in the pandemic the issues our members were likely to face in the months ahead as a result of lockdown and self-isolation. We moved quickly to ensure that all our members have access to WBR Credit Union Limited by promoting our online services and enhancing these where possible. We introduced DocuSign. This complemented our already popular online loan application process, and now members can apply for loans, sign loan applications, and have money transferred directly into their bank accounts without leaving the safety of their home. Members who were not comfortable with online transactions were accommodated through extra phone numbers being provided to answer queries, take loan applications, and make card payments into their accounts. We now have a new secure quick lodge facility outside our building, located just beside our ATM. We communicated the various ways our members could still avail of our services through Facebook, our website, and leaflets. Although our opening hours have had to be temporarily reduced, we are still working tirelessly in the background to ensure the best service possible for you, our members. We aim to approve members' loan applications as quickly as possible, although at times additional paperwork may be required before the loan can be assessed. We would ask members that if they require an application decision by a specific date, to apply as early as possible. To ensure our members receive their loan decisions quickly, the Credit Committee met daily throughout the week, and our Lending Oversight Committee continues to meet monthly and report to the Board of Directors. The Lending Oversight Committee analysed the loan book and review the policies and procedures for our lending to ensure compliance. WBR Credit Union Limited continues to lend to our members for a wide variety of purposes. We are also very pleased to advise that we can now lend to our corporate members. This year, we have increased the number of loans to local businesses, helping them to improve and expand in our community. Our chart, see page 9, show what our members have borrowed this year and the value of the loans for each category. Each year, we have been able to issue a loan interest rebate. This year, the board will recommend a loan interest rebate of 15%. The interest rebate shares our lending success with you, our members, who have supported us by borrowing throughout the year. On behalf of the Credit Committee, We would like to thank the Board of Directors, committee members, loan officers, staff and volunteers for all their help through these difficult times.
I can confirm that no questions were received for this report. And I ask for a proposer and a seconder. Proposer, Noel Campbell, thank you, Noel. Seconder, Yvonne White, thank you, Yvonne. And thank you, Sylvia, for that report. And I will move on to item K in the order of business, and this is the membership report, which will be delivered by Anne Kavanagh.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Membership numbers continue to grow throughout the year, and the total of juvenile accounts and adult members at the end of September was 10,381. This is an increase of 280 from last year, which demonstrates the confidence our community has shown in our credit union. Some of our new adult members are juveniles who reached the age of transfer, and we are pleased to see that they maintain this link and continue to avail of credit union services. We also continue to grow our corporate account membership, with 7 opened throughout the year. The current COVID-19 pandemic has led to us streamlining the new member process. Prospective members are asked to telephone the office so that all the information can be taken over the phone, and are then given an appointment time to attend the office to bring their original documents and to sign the paperwork. This reduces the time the new member is in our office. This has proved to be very successful and has allowed us to manage a welcome growth in our membership. Part of processing membership is undertaking checks and asking all members to verify their identity and their address. We appreciate that these checks may seem burdensome to our members, but WBR Credit Union, like all financial institutions, must comply with the various laws it is subject to, including anti-money laundering legislation. WBR Credit Union is operated on a not-for-profit basis, and any surplus is returned to our members. We hope that people in the community continue to avail of the opportunity to save, borrow, and to make use of the services of WBR Credit Union has to offer.
I confirm that no questions were received for the membership report. And I ask for a proposer and seconder. Proposer, Anne Kavanagh, and seconder, Yvonne White. Thank you very much, Anne. Move on to the next item in the order of business, L, Compliance, Risk and GDPR Committee Report, and this will be delivered by Catherine Collins.
Good evening. The management of risk in all aspects of the credit union's business and the written evidence that it has been properly analysed will always be a key concern of the regulators. Making sure that our controls for managing all areas of risk are in place and robust are key areas of work. There are many different areas of risk in which your credit union manages daily to ensure that our members' money, data and resources remain safe and secure. Despite the impact of COVID-19 on all aspects of our lives, the compliance and risk functions of your credit union has continued with its work, testing controls and managing all areas of risk. We were due to have our biannual visit of our regulators, but due to COVID-19, this has not happened to date. We do continue to keep our regulators updated of all aspects of the credit union when requested and remain compliant with all required ratios. Our legal obligations in complying with anti-money laundering, counter-terrorist financing and tax evasion legislation continue. These include ensuring that members' identification and address information is up to date. We would like to thank our members for their continued cooperation in this area. The General Data Protection Regulations came into effect May 2018. This represented a huge change in the way that all organisations, including credit unions, store, transmit and communicate personal data. We are pleased to confirm that compliance in this area continues. Should you have any queries in relation to any of your data, please contact our data protection representative by email to dataprotection@wbrcu.com. Cyber attacks continue to be a huge risk to all organisations, both large and small. Your credit union endeavours to maintain up-to-date robust defences and ensure all credit union personnel receive adequate training in this area. Please be advised that your credit union will never contact you to ask for your WBR credit union online banking PIN number. Should you be concerned about any communication purporting to be from your credit union, please contact our office immediately. All credit union personnel have a role in ensuring that we uphold the various laws, rules and policies. The staff are always diligent in ensuring that the needs of members are dealt with in a compliant manner, and the Compliance, Risk Management and GDPR Committee would like to thank them, as well as their dedicated directors, supervisory committee and volunteers. It is thanks to their hard work and the ongoing training that is undertaken by all credit union personnel that we have no material breaches to report. Our staff have a huge role in helping to combat fraud to ensure that no monies or member information are released except to the member or their authorised representative. We understand that these checks may appear to be burdensome to our members, but they are for your protection. The committee would also like to thank you, our members, for your continued patience and cooperation when we are required to ask you for further information or documentation.
I can confirm that no questions were received for the membership for the report, compliance, risk and GPR report. Now I would like to ask for a proposer, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. A seconder, Noel. Thank you, Noel. And thank you, Catherine, for that report. And we move on to the next order of business, item M, the Marketing and Communications Committee report, which will be delivered again by Sylvia Christophic. Sylvia.
Good evening. The Marketing and Communication Committee recognised the importance of maintaining a relationship with the schools within our local area. The events we host throughout the year provide an opportunity to introduce our credit union. We like to preserve our engagement with the young people of our community and hope we can contribute to a child's future education and financial security. One of our major annual events is our art competition. This year's theme was Walk of Life, which encouraged participants to draw inspiration from the challenges facing the environment and our planet. The increase of children participating displayed an energy, enthusiasm, and talent to art by all participants. However, due to the COVID-19 pandemic and restriction on hosting physical events, we were unable to host our ever-popular prize-giving ceremony. However, our winners did not go unrecognized, and we produced a virtual prize ceremony where all the winning posters are displayed on a video on our Facebook page, and the winners received their prizes by post. The annual school quiz took place in St. Dallan's Primary School. We were delighted that we were able to host this event at the beginning of 2020, and the standard was exceptionally high as the local schools battled it out. But it was Carrick Primary School and St. Dallas Primary School who were crowned the winning teams. They both went on to chapter level quiz. Sadly, neither team made it through to the national final. We would like to take this opportunity to thank the principals and teachers from all our local schools for their continued support and enthusiasm for taking part in our events. Providing sponsorship for schools, festivals, sports teams, and charities within the community continue to be very important to us, as it is our way of giving back to the community that has been very supportive of WBR Credit Union. Despite the havoc caused by COVID-19, this year we were able to support various requests from our common bond, such as St. Mary's Burren GAA Ladies Under 12s, St. Bronagh GAA Gala Ball, St. Peter's GAA Hurlers, Melbourne United Football Club, Warren Point Town Football Club, Life and Time, Southern Area Hospice Services, Warren Point Pantomime, Carlingford Lodge, St Joseph's Nursing Home, Seaford House, Warren Point, and Kilbronney Nursing Home, Rostrevor. And varying levels of lockdown restrictions throughout the year, the local events, festivals and celebrations have been very different to those in years gone by. The marketing committee was eager to do something different and used the opportunity to create a number of online initiatives to give back to our local community and focus on the spirit of the credit union. Competitions on Facebook were held to nominate and reward some of the key workers that continued to provide essential services during the strictest of measures of our lockdown. Food hampers were hand-delivered by our staff to the local nursing care homes as a token of thanks to their staff supporting the elderly during this difficult time. A children's rainbow art competition was also launched to encourage creativity among our young people in the community. All posters were displayed in the windows of our office. These initiatives created hope and positivity among our community. The current COVID-19 pandemic is unprecedented and is impacting on society and the world in lots of different ways. The way we carry out our everyday lives has been affected extraordinarily, and with social distancing and self-isolation measures in place everywhere we go, it's not surprising that now, more than ever, being able to access your credit union account online is so important. We were delighted that in previous years we had invested in upgrading our online services so that a secure, safe and easy to use website with an online banking and mobile app banking system was accessible to our members. This provided us with an online platform that was already fully functional when the crisis happened in March. This year, we were delighted to introduce the new DocuSign facility, which now allows members from the comfort of their home to apply for a loan, upload and sign any supporting documents that are requested, and once the loan is approved, the members can receive the money straight into their bank account. The marketing committee will be looking at ways to promote this new facility and the important message that members can apply and receive a loan from the comfort of their home. Digital services have accelerated during the pandemic, and particularly during the lockdown phases, the focus on the marketing committee was providing updated messages about our services and opening hours via our online platforms. They have created online support for step-by-step guides and frequently asked questions to help support members. We continue to be here for you, and we are very much open for business. We would like to encourage members to help our community by borrowing local and spending local. Thank you.
I can confirm that no questions were received for this report. I would ask for a proposer. Aaron, thank you, Aaron. And seconder, Lisa, thank you. And thank you, Sylvia, for that report. I'd like to move on to the next item of business, item N, and this is the insurance report, which will be delivered by Anne Kavanagh. Anne?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. WBR credit union members benefit from a number of insurance products through ECCU, our insurance company. These benefits are unique to credit unions affiliated to the Irish League of Credit Unions. First one is life savings insurance. This provides a benefit based on the amount of savings accumulated during a member's lifetime. Member shares are insured up to £15,000. Members must have joined before the age of 70 and have been eligible for cover under the life savings insurance. For examples of our life-saving insurance, please refer to our AGM booklet or speak to any member of our staff. Secondly, accidental death insurance. If a member's death is the result of an accident, the claim payment will be doubled. Third, loan protection insurance. This clears the outstanding balance on a member's loan. This insurance protects members up to the age of 85 years. All members aged 80 to 85 must sign a separate declaration confirming the loan is for their own personal use. If this declaration is not completed, the claim will be voided. Fourthly, disability benefit. During the year, the Board of Directors carried out a review of the disability insurance cover, which we previously provided to members. They found that the benefits received by our members was not reflective of the cost of this insurance. So it was agreed that we would discontinue this benefit with effect from the 1st of November 2020. Fifth, death benefit insurance. Providing a member has a minimum of £5 in shares, WBR Credit Union will pay death benefit insurance of £2,000 to your next of kin or person dealing with the deceased account to help meet funeral costs. The deceased member must have joined the credit union before the age of 70 and have been eligible for cover under the life savings insurance. Through ECCU, WBR Credit Union Limited have paid out the following monies to the nominees and representatives of our deceased members in 2019-2020. Loan protection insurance claimed and paid out with respect to 17 deceased members, £48,145.75. Life savings insurance claimed and paid out with respect to 51 deceased members, £114,295.53. Death benefit insurance claimed and paid out with respect to 52 deceased members, £104,000. The total amount of insurance received from ECCU, £266,441.28. It is very gratifying to see these monies being returned to 52 families in our community through these insurances, which come at no direct cost to our members. Membership nomination form. It is important to note nomination forms are held within the credit union. The forms should clearly identify the person or persons the member wishes to nominate and be delivered to the credit union during the nominator's lifetime. Nominations can be changed or replaced at the request of the member. Simply speak to any staff member. Property may be nominated to one or more persons. Ensure clarity of the same on nomination form. Nomination supersedes will or codicil to will. Marriage, civil partnership or divorce revokes the nomination. Death of a nominee before nominator revokes the nomination. New nomination revokes previous nominations. Property can be nominated up to the statutory maximum of £10,000. Property in excess of £10,000 will require a grant of probate or a letter of administration before excess funds can be released. The nomination of charities or societies is not permitted. The directors, supervisors, staff and volunteers of WBR Credit Union Limited wish to extend our sincere condolences to the families of those members who died over the past 12 months.
Thank you, Anne. I can confirm that no questions were received in respect of the insurance report. I would ask for a proposer for this report. Noel, thank you. Noel Campbell. Seconder, Martina McGill. Thank you, Martina. Now, I'd like at this stage to make an announcement on behalf of the members, and it has a bearing on the previous report. And we have received some very welcome news during the week from the Department for the Economy in relation to the administration of estates. Property can now be nominated up to a statutory maximum of £20,000, previously £10,000. Property in excess of £20,000 will require a grant of probate or a letter of administration before excess funds can be released. So I want you to take note of that. And I move on now to the item O in the order of business, the report of the Treasurer and consideration of accounts which will be delivered by our Secretary, Anne Kavanagh, on behalf of our Treasurer, Francis Kavanagh.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What a difference a year makes. This AGM is so different from every previous year. Brexit and COVID-19 have been the worst toxic combination you could imagine. Financially, almost every business has been affected in how it operates and how staff operate. WBR Credit Union is no different as we continue to operate reduced opening hours to the public and new methods of working to protect our staff in their working to serve you, our members. Whilst we have been able to reduce our management costs, our overall operating costs have increased from last year, mainly because of the necessity to add £279,211 to our provision for bad debts this year. This was necessary in order to meet requirements of our regulators, the PRA and the FCA. Many members have been adversely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic and have difficulty in paying their loan commitments. And this has added to our need to increase the bad debts provision. If you have a loan and are finding difficulty in making your repayments, please speak to us. We can help you. It will not go away, so don't ignore it. Banks have continued to reduce the investment rates, reflecting the Bank of England current rate of 0.1%. And this has reduced the amount we receive for interest on investments for 2020 to £200,964 from £255,109 that we received for 2019. Members and juvenile shares have continued to grow and amount to £28,106,948 during 2020, an increase of £2,730,626 or 10.76% from last year, and demonstrates the confidence that you have in saving with WBR Credit Union. Loans to members have remained similar to last year at £12,522,684, a decrease of £172,155 or 1.4% for 2020. Interest received on members' loans has increased during 2020 from £1,177,321 to £1,236,857, a 5% increase compared to last year. Loans are the lifeblood of credit unions, and we have agreed to introduce an additional category of loan, corporate loans, to target business expansion, which will help to create more employment in the Warrenpoint, Burn and Strever areas. This will also help to increase our loan book into the future and so ensure the continued viability of WBR Credit Union. I would like to thank our Board of Directors, Supervisors and Volunteers for all their time and efforts given freely throughout the year. I would also like to thank most sincerely our manager, Mrs. Yvonne White, and all of the staff of WBR Credit Union for their hard work and commitment during the current COVID-19 pandemic. Remember, we may be wearing masks, but we smile through our eyes.
Thank you, Anne. I would ask now, I can confirm that no questions were received in respect of the report of the Treasurer, and I would ask now for a proposer for the report. Thank you, Noel Campbell. Seconder, Aaron Willis. Thank you, Aaron. So again, I would like to move on now to and introduce John Doherty of Phelan and Prescott, Chartered Accountants, and there are our external auditors, and to deliver the agenda item P, the auditor's report. John.
Good evening. I hope that you are all keeping safe and well, and thank you for the opportunity to take part in the first virtual AGM of WBR Credit Union Limited. The year 2020 has been very challenging and difficult for everyone, both personally and financially. We all look to 2021 with hope that our circumstances will change for the better and life will get back to a level of normality. In reviewing the financial statements for the year ended the 30th of September 2020, please consider the following points. Net interest income has increased by 1.8% for the year. Employment costs have decreased by 1.3%. Other management expenses have decreased by 2.4%. A significant increase in the provision against loans to members was required, with a charge of $320,636 reported in the income and expenditure for the year. This charge brings the overall provision against loans to members to $543,973, which still only represents 4.3% of total loans to members. In my opinion, this increase in the provision is reflective of the current economic problems being experienced by the members of the credit union. An overall surplus for the year of £254,003 is reported, which will allow a proposed dividend of 0.25% and a proposed loan interest rebate of 15%. Cash and bank balances have increased by 24% compared to last year, and loans to members have decreased by 1.4%. Members' shares have increased by 11.2%. I will now read an extract from the Independent Auditor's Report to the members for the year ended the 30th of September 2020. We have audited the financial statements of WBR Credit Union Limited for the year ended the 30th of September 2020, which comprise the income and expenditure account, the balance sheet, the statement of changes in reserves, the cash flow statement, and notes to the financial statements, including a summary of significant accounting policies. The financial reporting framework that has been applied in their presentation is applicable law and United Kingdom accounting standards, including the Financial Reporting Standard 102. In our opinion, the financial statements in all material respects give a true and fair view of the state of the credit union's affairs as at the 30th of September 2020 and of its income and expenditure and cash flows for the year then ended. Have been properly prepared in accordance with FRS 102, the financial reporting standard applicable in the UK and Republic of Ireland, issued by the Financial Reporting Council, and have been prepared in accordance with the requirements of the Credit Union's Northern Ireland Order 1985. I would like to thank the directors, manager and staff for all their assistance during our audit and wish them continued success for next year. Thank you.
Thank you, John. I confirm that no questions were received regarding the auditor's report. I would ask now for a proposer for that report. Yvonne White, thank you, Yvonne. Seconder, Aaron Willis. Thank you, Aaron. Right, I want to move on now to the declaration of the dividend and loan interest rebate, which will be delivered by our Secretary, Anne Kavanagh, on behalf of our Treasurer, Francis Kavanagh.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a difficult year, especially the last quarter. But despite difficulties experienced, we are able to inform you that WBR Credit Union can declare a dividend for 2019-20 of 0.25%, which compares favourably with rates paid by banks and building societies. We are also able to pay a loan interest rebate of 15%, the same as for last year. Dividend payments and loan interest rebates will be available for withdrawal from Saturday the 12th of December 2020. Due to COVID-19 regulations, numbers attending our office will be restricted. This means you may need to queue outdoors. For your safety and comfort, we would encourage you to use our online facilities, if possible, to transfer your dividend payment and interest rebate to your bank account. Information on how to access your account online and request a PIN number is available on our website www.wbrcu.com/online banking.
Thank you, Anne, for that report. I can confirm that we received no questions in respect of the declaration of dividend and rebate of interest. I would ask now for a proposer for the report. Thank you, Noel Campbell. Seconder, Martina McGill. Thank you, Martina. Moving on now to the item 8 in the order of business, the nominating committee report, and this will be delivered by Eamon Sloan. Eamon.
Good evening. The Nomination Committee is responsible for identifying suitable candidates for nomination to volunteer positions in WBR Credit Union Limited, in accordance with relevant guidance and regulations. In addition, the Committee is responsible for the ongoing monitoring of volunteers' skills and performance to ensure that the Board has a competent volunteer membership. This is achieved in a number of ways as detailed in the work completed this year. This year, the Committee issued fitness and propriety certificates as required by our regulators, ensuring that volunteers and officers possess the skills and competencies expected to fulfil their roles. We developed and circulated a series of self-assessments regarding the core competencies of individual directors and the performance of the Board collectively, updated the Credit Union's succession plan to reassure our Board and regulators that WBR Credit Union Limited will be properly managed in the period ahead, and will create a pool of skilled volunteers to ensure appropriate governance structures and the continuity of WBR Credit Union Limited. We notified the membership of their opportunity to make nominations for director. Your nomination form was included in your invitation pack. Any member who has time to volunteer should contact a member of this committee or the Secretary of the Credit Union. You will be very welcome. In accordance with Rule 50 and 73 of the Standard Rules for Credit Unions, the following members have been nominated for election to the Board of Directors: Anthony Michael, Joe McGuigan and Rachel Gribben. In accordance with Rule 51 and 73 of the Standard Rules for Credit Unions, the following member has been nominated for election to the Supervisory Committee: Aaron Willis, and we can confirm that all relevant nomination papers have been received and are in order.
Thanks, Eamon. I can confirm that no questions were received. I would like a proposer for this report. Okay, Miriam. Thank you, Miriam. Miriam Cole. Seconder, Martina McGill. Thank you. Now, I would like to invite Anne Kavanagh to come to the podium for the live announcement of the election results. Anne.
Good evening. Members will know that as a result of COVID-19, the appointment of the auditor, the election of directors and supervisor, and the approval of the Board of Directors' recommendation of dividend and loan interest rebate took place by postal ballot. The deadline for the casting of the postal ballots was Thursday the 10th of December. All ballots received, whether by email, post or in our office, were opened and counted today under the supervision of Adrian Markey, WBR Chamber of Commerce, our Assistant Manager and our Risk and Compliance Officer. We received 209 ballot papers, of which 13 were invalid. We also received a number of ballot papers after our cut-off time, and unfortunately they could not be counted. The results are as follows. Dividend recommendation of 0.25%, 144 votes. Loan interest rebate recommendation of 15%, 144 votes. Reappoint Phelan and Prescott as auditors, 142 votes. Re-elect Joe McGuigan as Director, 145 votes. Re-elect Anthony Mackle as Director, 140 votes. Election of Rachel Gribben as Director, 149 votes. And elect Aaron Willis as a Supervisor, 142 votes. We would like to thank all our members who voted. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. I would like to move now to items T and U on the agenda, the motions of the AGM and any other business. Now, the first item, the donations and sponsorships. The Board of Directors propose the allocation towards donations and sponsorships of a maximum of 2% of the year-end surplus after transfer to reserves. This includes a donation to the International Credit Union funds of £1,500. I would ask for a proposer for this. I will propose it. I'll ask for a seconder. Martina McGill. Thank you, Martina. I'd like to move on to fundamental changes, which some of which have been mentioned during the, or some have been mentioned during the reports. Starting off with the shares cap. The Board of Directors have agreed that a cap of £15,000 on combined shares, that's regular shares and shares too, will apply from 1st January 2021. This will affect only a minority of our membership and will have an immediate and positive effect on our reserve position. This may be reversed in the future. Shares above the cap of £15,000 must be withdrawn by 1st of March 2021, and my letter to you of 18th of November gives you all the details and the rationale for this. The next item, fundamental changes, is disability insurance, again mentioned during the report. During the year, the Board of Directors carried out a review of disability insurance cover, which we previously provided to members. They found that the benefits received by our members was not reflective of the cost of this insurance, and so it was agreed that we should discontinue this benefit with effect from the 1st of November 2020. The other item, as I mentioned, was administration of estates. Just to repeat that, earlier this year we received the welcome news that property can now be nominated up to the statutory maximum of £20,000, and this is effective from 8th of January 2021. Property insurance in excess of £20,000 will require a grant of probate or letter of administration before any excess funds can be released. Moving on now to the members' Christmas draw. This year has been very difficult and a challenging year, which has left many of our businesses, our local businesses and families struggling in our community. We want to give back to our community and indeed to support them as best we can. So for our Christmas draw, we will be running a 12 Days of Christmas prize draw, and the lucky winner each day will receive £50 WBR Chamber of Commerce voucher. The prize draw will run from 12th December to 24th December, and a winner will be randomly selected from our members' database. WBR Chamber of Commerce with WBR Credit Union is driving support for local businesses with the launch of a voucher scheme to encourage more people to borrow local, spend local in the run-up to the Christmas time and into the future. As part of a Christmas sponsorship, we have agreed to give £600 to support the local Vincent de Paul Christmas Appeal, helping families in a local community during this very difficult time. Thank you. Now, members, I am now going to close the meeting. There is no more business, and I would like to thank everyone in the business here, in the building here tonight, and indeed all the members who participated by voting, and indeed watching this presentation tonight. And I declare the meeting closed. Thank you very much. And happy Christmas.